Welcome, folks. This is my first Nightside chat with you. I figured I've done a few videos, but they've been just on screen, screencast, or screen sharing. You've followed along online as if we've done a few reviews and learned a few things together. But I wanted to take a moment and actually come face to face with you on the web. I figured if you want to get to know someone, if you want to get to trust someone, you need to know who they are and what they look like, how they react. And so I consider myself to have a little bit of ADD because I tend to move around. I tend to squirm or shift in my chair, and even though I do try to focus on different things that I do. But today, our topic is on the Business Person of the Year. And Fortune Magazine has identified that person in the recent November issue of the magazine. And I actually have that here with me today. Paper copy, so I'm not just an internet paperless man. And even though I work in a paperless office at work, I do take time to read a few things on paper. And so here we have Fortune Magazine about the Business Person of the Year. And that particular person happens to be Jeff Bezos of Amazon.com. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but anyway, what we want to share about him is some unique things they bring up in the article. And one of the things that they peg Mr. Bezos to be is the ultimate disruptor. There are some comments that they share in the article about similarities that Jeff Bezos has with the former or the late Steve Jobs, who was the anchor CEO at Apple. But I want to share some comments with you and then some of my ideas and observations as well. But an interesting thing is they comment that if they were to ask a number of startup CEOs who their model CEO is, they said if they asked 100 people, probably 95 of them would state that Jeff Bezos was their ideal CEO. And here's the actual wording. Who is the CEO they admire the most? He would show up on 95 of the ballots. That would be Jeff Bezos, the man himself. And what is it that he does? He leads Amazon.com. And for many years, back in the beginning, 1998, 1999, around there, maybe even 1996, if I'm not mistaken. But they have a statistic here from 2002. The majority of the business of Amazon was in media. What does that include? Books, movies, music. That was a big part of the business model. And then we see a trend in 2006 start to pick up. And that trend happens to be in electronics and other general merchandise. So we see a steady climb between 2006 and 2009 in that marketplace. And then even a steeper climb from 2009 through 2011. So a lot more people, a lot more traffic to Amazon.com purchasing electronics and other general merchandise. And then something different in 2009 also was the birth of the Amazon Web Services. And so the idea there is to provide an experience to customers that is very similar to what they experience when they visit the Amazon website, with all the different menus, the different features, and pictures. I was in another training, and one of the instructors said, no matter what business you're in, what are you selling on your website? If you make widgets, or if you make refrigerators, or if you make dolls, or write books, what is it that you're selling on your website? And a lot of people were responding, oh, I sell videos, I sell books, I sell clothes. But he would the instructor would respond and say, no, you sell pictures. Pictures is what you're selling on the internet. And so Amazon.com, when you go there, you do see a lot of pictures, and you see books and the covers of the books and insides of books, and sometimes you see the chapters, and they let you look inside of the book. Again, one of those features of excellent marketing. Give you a taste of what the product is on the web, online, so that gives you some credibility, gives you a little bit of trust for what the product is and what's inside, so that when you go to buy it, you have an idea of what you're buying. And also the customer ratings, that's another big thing. When you scroll down to the bottom of, or further down on Amazon page for a particular product, you see customer response. And that happens to be one of the big things for Mr. Jeff Bezos, customer response and complaints. I read that he spends a good amount of time reading complaints because he wants to know what specifically is a customer complaining about. And so one of the things here, he says, if one customer wrote to Jeff, there are others who didn't. And Jeff wants to understand the screw up to make sure it gets fixed. And this is commendable because many companies, they don't have the customer focus. And they're more focused on, well, we just want to get our product to the masses. We want people to buy the product. We don't care if there's a screw up here or if maybe the shipping is late here. That's our distribution entity's problem, or so forth. But Jeff wants to get to the source of the problem because that is a core part of his business management. Then also another part of Amazon and Jeff Bezos' persona, if you will, is being frugal. So when you compare Amazon and their margins that they operate at, compare that with Apple, for example, you notice that Apple has very high margins. So they put a value on their product. They produce that product at a certain cost, and then they really mark it up because their target market is a specific individual who wants the high technology and the high value and the brand name recognition that Apple has. Now compare that with Amazon. Amazon, very low margins, and some of their service lines, they're willing to come in at a loss because they're betting that at other places they'll come at a higher margin. So it sounds like a similar model as Walmart, because you go into Walmart and you notice that their DVD sales, the price of a DVD is really low compared to other places outside of Walmart. And why is that? Because they want to bring customers in who will see, oh, Batman Returns or Batman, whatever the popular movie is going on right now. People see that and it lures them, invites them into the store. And then as they are in the store, experience the customer experience, that's where Walmart will then pitch their other services and other products, and people will then residually buy other products and services outside of what their original intent was to go there for. And a lot of the super Walmarts sell groceries now. They sell food products, and those are a lot of those are marked down in price to the consumer because they know that a lot of people will then venture away from the food court or from the food aisles and go in and go over and look at clothes, look at the electronics, check out what DVDs are on sale and so forth. So Amazon has a very similar experience but online, and so they will invite the consumer in, and various service lines they will sell below market because they know, or they're banking that they will be able to earn a larger return on other services that they might have. So Amazon is known to be very frugal. And one thing that I noticed here is, and Jeff comes out very clearly, very direct, saying, we pay very low cash compensation relative to most companies. We also have no incentive compensation of any kind. And the reason we don't is because it is detrimental to teamwork. So it's very interesting that Jeff is being very keen on teamwork. And if you have followed me on my blog any, you'll notice that I have a couple of reviews for the Pendulum book written by Michael Drew and his partner. Ron Williams, I believe is his name. And they talk about how currently we are in the upswing of a we cycle. What does that mean? That means that you as an individual are no good, but we as a group, we are okay. And so it has the village mentality. So we are in the upswing of a we cycle. And so over the next, that started in 2003, according to Michael and his research, and that will go for 40 years. So in 2043, the pendulum will be back down to center, perpendicular. So over the next 20, 30, 40 years, it's going to be important that we focus in, from a marketing perspective, on group, on village, on communities. And so we've seen the recent rise of Facebook, very popular. Millions and millions of people are on Facebook every day because it is a social gathering. It is a place where people come in the masses and they enjoy each other's company. They follow each other and they read each other's comments. And what did you have for breakfast? Or what did you do for lunch? Or what are you doing this weekend? And that has that group, that team mentality. So that's one of the things that Jeff is keen on here. Not much else that I want to share here, other than the title of my blog today is Best Tablet at Any Price. And again, focusing in on the key difference between an Apple model, which operates on high margins, and a very high-end product, as compared with Amazon, who works at low margins, and they have the Kindle. And yes, the Kindle is on fire because they're tablets. The comment here is Amazon's newest Kindle Fire tablets are cool too, all priced lower than comparable iPads and pretty darn close in terms of features. So if you can create a product that has very similar features to a high-end product, and you can sell that product at a much lower margin than your competitor, then eventually you will even invite more traffic into your business, into your network, and people will want to purchase your product. And then along with that product comes the basic services of your model, which Amazon, the book readers, people who read books and read books on tablets. That's a key market. So with that, I will come to a close here. It was an interesting read on Amazon and Mr. Jeff Bezos as the Business Person of the Year. And I will close with this comparison. Here is where they're identifying that Amazon works at a 31% profit margin and Amazon at a 2% profit margin. Amazon sells at the bare minimum needed to break even on the assumption it will make money elsewhere. And we touched upon this a little bit earlier. It's a completely different approach. Apple uses its platform to sell high profit devices. Amazon sells low or no profit devices to pump ever more volume onto its platform. So again, Amazon is wanting to bring more traffic into their website because that is the experience, their web network. And Amazon, Apple, has their product, which is a different platform for a different kind of experience. So that brings us to a close of our first night side chat. And thank you for coming to my blog site. And this is Travis Call signing out. Here, find the button. All right, have a great day.